Good day, good night, folks. I haven't updated in a while, but just trying to sort out some stuff, life and stuff, so I could also do a barrage, but so I can be focused and do everything at a very high level. Look at this. I think the Vatican have just declared war against America or Trump or so. But we know that there are king killers. Every president has been killed by the Vatican from Abe Lincoln go down. And I will show proof of that later on. But look what I see right here. First of all, them swearing the new pope, and the new pope happens to be an American pope, which is done for a reason. These people don't do anything by chance. If they're gonna choose a pope and make the pope be an American descent or American descent, it's some form of symbolism. And then look at what the pope says in his opening speech or monologue or in his first greeting to the world or to his flock. Because these people, they always talk with a layered code. Some things have 2 or 3 different meanings to like different audiences. So he's speaking to the public, he's speaking to the Catholics, and he's speaking to the cabal, as in the secret society and the Jesuits and the Illuminati and those people who put things in play and carry out their mandates. And this is what I think he's doing. Look at this now. First of all, it says peace be with you all. Now, American Pope declaring peace, that to me is kind of, first of all, he's the saint being America, and America just recently visited the Pope Francis, who died shortly before he died and so forth, or days before. So, but peace to these people have like a different meaning. So whenever these people say peace, you have to recognize what peace means. Peace to them means by any means necessary. And I'll show you this right here, back up that claim. This is a video of a program called Teen Summit. This was in like 1996, but clearly tells that peace, this is the peace sign here, means, so what there means, and by any means necessary. So peace means by any means necessary. That's what it means to them. So you have the red, yellow, and the green. Even the colors are there, and you see the white there in green, and behind there. So, and the guy is in black and standing behind the red part of the seat or something, So white, and lady with W on the white there. Why? So peace means by any means necessary. These people will turn their back to the light of God that them can't look on and walk back way, and then turn and stab you when them reach near. That's how evil they are. I'm not talking about these artists right here. I'm just telling about the Vatican and the Cabal and the people who have these principles in place. The principles of peace, meaning by any means necessary. That's what he's saying.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Check the strategy. By any means, Shirley Temple Girls were done by Billie Jean.
Questo è il primo saluto del Cristo risorto, il buon pastore che ha dato la vita per me. Anch'io vorrei che questo saluto di pace entrasse nel vostro cuore per raggiungere.
I see he's here, and there's a crow mic now. The mic is like the scepter, and there is the cross of Christ now. Your families, wherever they are. So wherever you have true believers, by any means necessary, they're going to target them. That's the scepter there. The mic represents the sector, and it's pointing sideways to the cross, because that's who they're going to target. So that is brothers and sisters there. But choosing an American pope and giving this greeting of peace, like we're in the state of war, peace this, peace that, is because Trump has a stronghold now. He's removing those corrupt people from the government. Many of them are resigning in the FBI and so forth, and he's not bending to their will to fight endless wars, because most of the wars them what America has fought, you can basically call them Vatican wars, whether it's for Israel, which is the Zionist, who's the head of the Vatican and so forth, because it was not
a tutti I popoli, a tutta la terra. La pace.
So that's him really. So why I find this that disturbing, because then I look at this.
Fox alert overnight. The Trump administration
so
securing another win, announcing a major
and you see what's happening. Trump Middle East trip. Why is the need to say a Middle East trip? Why don't say Middle East visitor or something? And why like this. So you see the Pope saying by any means necessary, or like the Pope saying peace, right? And in peace, you had the blue and white caption,
Middle East.
and Trump
He's
had
going
the
overseas
Pope had the
today.
red thing around
White
his
House
neck.
one of the major issues on the
And then you
agenda
look at this
when the
now.
president makes his high-stakes trip, and the first
Middle
one to
East
the Middle
trip.
East. He's going overseas today.
We know that they
White
want
House
to
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt joins us now.
that they want to
One of the major issues on the agenda when the president makes his high-stakes trip.
Middle East trip. So I look at that and I say RIP. So they may use one of them extraterrestrials and kill him, or some use a flying sauce, or like, you know, or like whatever. And this the trip where he's going to go to like sign some deals with Saudi Arabia and China and them people who, you know, so they might use that. You know, I think by any means necessary. So this is a peace deal and everybody sign, but they're all one network. So when them say them that, they can be doing that to create the opportunity, you know, because if they want war from Iran for a long time, because when they use the guy who tried to kill him at the speech, which was the only speech that came on TV, Trump made around 96 speeches during his campaign trail, and none came on TV except the one where they tried to kill him, because these people hate Christians and patriots, and they would want nothing more than to shoot down their hero and advocate on live TV in front of them to like put the nation in a heartbroken state, and probably use it to justify our next war now and say it was Iran, because the same little nerd, the same little white nerd who donate money to the Democrats, them, you know, them claims they have hidden accounts from like Iran and all them people. This guy who don't speak anything other than English, never been overseas, have like hidden accounts with people from Iran, how him get in contact with those handlers and so forth to get money. You know, they must create a narrative because, you know, they never get to kill him, but them still want to use the death of the assassin to like to really manipulate Trump to do their bidding, which is to fight the next war for drain America money, because basically America was on the verge of bankruptcy. If Doge never come in, and what Elon found from all the billions and trillions them saved, that at the current fiscal spending, because America was accumulating over $1 trillion debt each year, they would have been bankrupt in 8 years and the economy would have crashed, which is what they want for bringing the new world order. But when the economy crash and people go in the Mac account and there is no money and they can't buy no food, then what can happen? Chaos. And just to ensure that, them flooding 20 million immigrants and mercenaries and terror cells that them can bring in for create anarchy in case the American people don't do it themselves. That's why them bringing all these things them free up and like fit the borders. One is to get votes, and it's to bring in them anarchists and terror cells and sleeper agents and the mercenaries who they had fighting wars overseas in the Middle East and so forth. That's basically what it was. So to kill Trump, they get to go to war with Iran and probably start the next war or something, you know. So that's basically what I think they wanted, you know. It's something that I have seen from a long time. No, to no. So the same yellow in the background there and orange. And then you have the thing with the Pope, you know, speaking about peace. And why I say that is because America is not going down to them, you know. So just the other day, the guy with Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso, you know, them can't get America to invade. Trump is not going to invade down there. So the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations themselves, had to come out and make a statement and call him a dictator and say he is using the gold for himself when he's using it to like enrich the country. That they will no longer ship out the gold. They will do their own refinement, which is what they don't mind, because at first he's like, okay, have a gold, but then we would buy it for like pennies on the dollar, and they will do that refinement overseas in Europe and so forth and make a bunch of money. Because he's saying now he's not going to do that. They're going to build their own refineries over there, you know, which is sort of like Jamaica. We have bauxite, but we do refinery over here, so we send the bauxite for pennies and a dollar, or we'll have them do the mining, some lease land cheap, the mining them ship up abroad, then do the refinery and then make a bag of money. So we the same thing. Our politicians have sold out our bauxite for what is pennies and a dollar, because the policy of these countries that anywhere you have a third world country with any natural resource, it must be exploited and the people in the country mustn't get anything, which is what we have out there. Even our tourist industry, most of the hotels are overseas based. You know, I think it's only Sandals that was owned by Bookstore. The rest of them all overseas people own the hotel, so the money that's coming is not really, they really help to and benefit us as much. It does, but
Can you clarify
so that's
that
how.
Qatar is giving us a new Air Force One as a personal gift to President Trump? Are they gifting it to the country? What could you tell us about this luxury liner that looks like a hotel in the air?
Well, the Qatar.
That may be an exploit, as in Qatar giving them a new Air Force One, because it can be a plane that them can crash, have some secret tracking into it, have some secret bomb into it or something like that, play that them can remote control and like disable the controls and things, anything, or that them can use to spy on Trump, since what happened is he has removed the presidential briefing for many of the old Democrats, them like Biden and all them people, the Pelosi and all them people who used to get them, so they don't really know what is going on as much, so that plane could be a way to spy, but I think it's also it's a way to like destroy, bomb up and things of that nature, This is Russia. This is why I don't trust Putin. I think he's compromised. First of all, look at this here. Pause. Observe. This is in the Vatican. Notice these guys here walking in yellow and blue, and they're carrying this long spear in their right hand with white glove, red and white gloves. I guess that's what they call the white glove service. And this white spear all the way back up to the back of the helmet into the tail feathers right there. Yeah, long spear all the way into the tail feathers. That's the Vatican. And here comes Putin. No, this is what Putin did that make us think that he is compromised. He bows to the Pope in a way that I've never seen before, and you're gonna see it. Look at the Pope does. The Pope rests his hands on the table and snap. Looking at the camera, if his hand there, what they're gonna do? My hand's on the table now. Yes, I'm his bitch. I work for him. I mean, I don't really.
Putin was looking at the Pope's hand when he put his hand on the table.
He put his left hand there, and what is there? Where he puts his left hand? Look where he puts his hand. You see a cross here, It almost looks like an upside down cross in the sense that the crucifix is not all the way up the top. And I don't know what this is here. The box or something. Is that he's saying that he swear that he will box up Christians for the Pope, like persecute, kill, and whatever. Is that what all these wars are for? Because these people start wars just to sacrifice innocents, So even Zelensky worked for them too, Democrat puppet work for Biden and all them people, and then with endless money which then distribute to also Hamas, because Hamas is a part of them arm, because Hamas is there to be agitators and to really disrupt the plight of the victims of the Palestinians, so that they look like terrorists, so that they can wipe them out. So they need Hamas to justify wiping out innocent Palestinians. That's why US aid money went to Hamas. The corp of US aid that Donald Trump shut down, that was formed by JFK to help people like Haile Selassie, Ibrahim Traore, and those type of people who are being taken over by European conquistadors and globalists and colonialists. When Selassie went to the League of Nations, something that already I'm explained. Nowadays they don't do that. They just use financial conquest, give loan on some terms, like you give away your life and everything, or then put some puppet leaders in place to give themselves some good pennies and a dollar deal for natural resources. And when you throw them out, them send terrorists after you, which is what happened to Ibrahim Traore, and things of that nature. So let's go down some more and see what the Pope is doing and what Putin is doing. I do like this right here. So show you something here. The Pope puts his hand right here. So the Pope here, the man behind him, see this picture right here? I believe that represents the devil backing up Bloods, Christians, red, that I believe it actually represent. And Russia was just giving some people some deal, giving citizenship, some sort of amnesty thing for people to leave America and other countries where Christians are being persecuted and come to Russia, which I think they will also happen to them. They're just creating a gateway because Russia has the resources and so to to really target these people for the Pope, or so they just want to get you there like a fake sanctuary, and then like the Israelites in Egypt, 10 years, 15 years, 5 years later, them bringing some draconian policies and things of that nature. So look at this now, what he did. He's gonna kiss this. You're not obligated to like do that. And you have to look what is here. You look at that, Look where the camera is focused. Show you. Look at what that is there. I'm not seeing what it is, but just look where the camera is. There. Camera is focused. Camera is focused on this box here. Is down here. Right here. Like, hey, kiss the ring, nigga. Because Mary do actually represent Mary. There's no in the Bible that say must worship Mary. You know, she get no reverence in the Bible. It's just these Vaticans them do them paganist thing and use Catholic and use Christian symbolism to mask deities and demons. You know, so that could well be like Lilith or something like that. You know, when they converted Catholicism to Christianity, we used to put a veneer over it, not to truly convert, but to be able to serve idols in public. So? And so the camera focus right here. So basically, him go, Imam give him hand to the Pope, saying that, or to the Vatican, he's their hand, their muscle, and bow down and kiss. I don't know what this is. I think this represents the devil.
What they do to Christians and Christ, but that's not Christ, that's the devil. Bite you on the ass and swallow you up and read you alive, you know? It's go straight up your ass.
That's what they're about. They hide everything in plain sight. So Trump is not doing that. That's why they're trying to kill him, and that's why the new Pope say enemy necessary. You know? These people, them been killing a lot of Christians over the years. You know, and Pope Francis is the first Jesuit Pope, and the Jesuit is the secret army of the Vatican. They killed Abraham Lincoln, you know. The assassin of Abraham Lincoln was found in the Pope's private army because they have a vendetta against America from day one, because it had declared itself a free nation and the liberties, and they want to destroy liberties. I'm going to share something so that these Vatican people aren't what they're cracked up to be. Because if you love God and you love Jesus, how do you explain this? This is the Vatican's audience room. Let me turn the phone. This is a building that's supposed to look like a snake. So you're inside the head of a snake. 2 eyes right here, and these are the fangs right here. So the fangs, and right at the head, you have this picture of what's supposed to be Jesus with like his face being eaten by a snake. If you love Jesus, the Son of God, which is not even his real name, but I go, see, this is the building here. So the snake head. So the arch and the eyes, snake head. Same thing again. Snake head, snake eyes. I think it's called the Saint Peter Olive one, and that's the eyes. It's basically them entombing red souls, blood of Jesus souls. See, you're inside here. I don't know what Pope that was. So there are fangs. This is what I'm have at the end of the building. If you go to a church and you see this at the altar, would you want to worship at that church? Talk to me good. Would you worship at a church? Just talk common sense. Wouldn't it scare your kids? You carry your kids to your church and right at the front you have this thing look like a bunch of demons pulling or crawling or whatever. I don't know what I'm supposed to be. And that's Jesus right there, so. That's basically what them do to Jesus. And these people are like parasites in the body. Them demon are try to pull the soul and drag it to hell. So basically this diagram is a picture of what happened inside of what they do to souls. These people are the source of evil in the world. But God knows and Him allow it, so, you know. It do escape Him. God has His plan. Just wanting to see that still. And I don't think maybe Jesus is probably the name of the Antichrist. I actually think so, you know, because We know God is a name of the devil because the God for money is called God, GAD, you know, and the money them put, there's a demon of fortune named God, GAD, and under that they put in God we trust. So it could be that, you know, and the letter J wasn't in the alphabet when Jesus was around, wasn't in the Greek or Hebrew, I think, something to that effect. So his name was actually Yahusha, Yahusha, and God's name was Yahuwah, 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 and the son name is Yahusha. That's the Hebrew that was in the Bible when they found it over 7,000 times, and they took out the name and put the name Lord each time. So every time it said Lord, which kind of confused me because you have scriptures where it said my Lord said to my Lord and things like that nature. Because them don't want you to know the true name of God. You know, they don't want you to pray to God. That's why they give you a mirror to pray and say, the Bible says there's one intermediary between God and man, the man Christ Jesus, his son. And them say you can talk to miracle sometimes, God busy, but if you talk to your mother, you know, he will listen to his mother. So these people, they put in some principle that isn't even biblical. So you know, it's just a little mockery thing to them. I feel sorry for all the people who them leading astray and collecting the money for cause. Not everybody who knows, those who in the pulpit, all of these people here are in on it. Them know say it fake, you know, them know say them serve the devil and the snake and Lucifer the serpent, you know. And if I show this to the average Catholic now, them so brainwashed, they might probably have a fight and not like physical fight, but you know, they may call it anti-Catholic, something like anti-Semitic, you know, where you dismiss all credible criticism and just label somebody as being hateful. Anyway, that's that. So let me show you something else here now. So you see what he did. He went and he basically bowed down and offered him hand. And Russia is a dead country in the sense that from 1912 them kill off all the real Russian, them the Tsars them, and you had a Jewish invasion. Them talk about the Holocaust, but the first Holocaust was with the Russian people, and them killed like I think over 20-30 million of them. You know, all the royalty and the young people and the leaders, everything, and they filled it up with beer Zionist Jews. They are called the Khazarians. So everybody that you see in Russia is not really people who are really authentic, real Russian. From about 1912, the same thing what them doing to America now, assassinating all the immigrants. Them took over Russia from a long time, and then they created communism. Because they created communism to be the antithesis of democracy, so that they could create wars and invade countries and take them resources and so forth. So you see, the Pope control Russia and Putin too, as well as them control America through the CFR, Council of Foreign Relations and so forth. You know, and all the leaders, them and the Democrats, them and them thing there, including some also Republicans. A good book, Satan, the Prince of this World, written by the same man who wrote this book, Pawns in the Game, William Guy Carr. This is a book that tells you everything about the world, from how them form lodge to how them take over lodge, you know, and if you form a secret society inside a secret society to do them world domination, to how them corrupt leaders them with like blackmail and sex and all them stuff there, and take over every leader, how them fight wars so that the country who is the victim lose everything. You know, everything that I learn is in books like these. So which one of the wash here again? Okay, 1 sec. Anyway, let me turn OATH for the Jesuit oath. And this is something I post on my Instagram. Here's part of it. See, the Vatican condemned the Declaration of Independence as wickedness and called the Constitution of the United States a satanic document, which is anything but they're satanic. But they're going to target it with Satan because it's actually a Christian document. Avro, Manhattan, the dollar, and the Vatican. This was 1988. Here's part of the Jesuit oath. I do further promise and declare that I will have no opinion or will of my own or any mental reservation whatever, even as a corpse or a cadaver. So even when them dead, because these people them fight while them alive, and even after them dead, them get resurrected to do more evil. Because them have that technology of soul transference and them things that nature. Because you are light. The body is light. So all them do, them just freeze and cake up the soul. Put some cream light and some stuff and catch you in a one stone or in a one computer something, and then just take you out like a SIM card and put you in like a next body, and torment you and abuse you. That's what life after that is. So once your body is free, then basically what they're doing is catching lightning in a bottle. Lightning can be caught in a bottle. So them convert anyway, this is the undocument that every Jesuit must take, including Pope Francis. So no will at the court of the Godfather, but will unhesitatingly obey each and every command that I may receive from my superiors in the militia of the Pope. I furthermore promise and declare that I will, when opportunity present, make and wage relentless war. I further promise the Synod that they don't need any specific orders for this. No orders is needed. This is mandate. This is what them do routinely. They don't need any other person. You target him from your true Christian, true child of God, and them look upon you and them see the light and see that you're not like the world. Then some Jesuits, or I call them J.E. suits, some microchip little fluorescent light soul in a container in a body, or some person possessed with a bug vessel in them soul quarters being controlled by a warlock or a witch. I further promise and declare that I will, when opportunity presents, make and wage relentless war secretly or openly against all heretics, Protestants and liberals, which they control the liberals. Back in the day, the liberals were the free ones because everybody was overly religious, and draconian with it, like them holier than thou. So liberals were just people who were free. So I mean free as in liberty, and that you're liberated from them and their control. Protestants, so there is a constant war against the Catholic and like other churches, though they make it look like them don't follow our God. So against Protestants, as I am directed to extirpate and exterminate them from the face of the whole earth, and that I will spare neither their age, sex, or condition, and that I will hang, burn, waste, boil, flay, strangle, and bury alive these infamous heretics, rip up their stomach and the wombs of their woman and wombs of their women, and crush their infant's head against the wall, in order to annihilate forever their execrable race. That when the same cannot be done openly, I will secretly use the poison cup, the strangulating cord, the steel of the poniard, or the leaden bullet, regardless of honor, rank, dignity, or authority of the person whatsoever may be their conditions in life, either in public or private, as I at any time may be directed to do so by an agent of the Pope or superior of the Brotherhood of the Holy Faith of the Society of Jesus. Society of Jesus. Now, when you look at a document like that, one have to wonder, how can they attach the name of Jesus to that? That has nothing to do with Jesus. I'm talking about killing women and destroying them womb and smashing them infant children head against the wall. Society of Jesus. So you have to know that they're not talking about the Jesus of the Bible, right? As I say, Catholics, I say the Catholic thing it's a satanic religion that is masked with a veneer, a curtain, a veil over it of Christianity, so that they can openly worship Satan and the evil and call it good. But in the Bible it says, woe to those who call evil good and good evil. So they are the ones who do evil and call it good. And Jesus to them, I think it means Jesus or Jesus. That's what their Jesus mean, which is basically the Antichrist, basically putting the devil on people. That is basically what it is. So that's the Jesus that they're talking about. Not the Son of God, not Yahuwah, not Yahusha, his son. That's his name they took out of the Bible. It's Jesus or Jesus. So when we talk about brotherhood, and you see the new Pope give the speak saying brothers and sisters, he's talking about his private army, like he's talking to the flock, like the regular ignorant Catholics in the pew who go there and worship and take the mass. He's talking to his army, the Jesuits them, and the nuns them, and people, because you have those who live in the convents and you have those who just in society in whatever disguise act like a normal person with this mandate. So that's why you go somewhere and eat some from, you like eat from some people and them poison, and you all wonder why you do them. You do the main thing, they must have this spirit inside of them, and that's what they will do. I've been with people who perfectly fine, don't have nothing, and every now and then they just slip something in their food and poison you, or like have no reason. Even church food, church communion, nothing is off limits with these people. I've been poisoned with church communion. I'm not afraid to say that. Both the bread and them little grape juice cup and all them stuff there. So pray for Trump. Can also pray for me too. But pray for Trump. I don't know why at night my head just scratch me. I get my head alone, but like all over. I'm good in the day now, but at night it's like I know I'm asleep. Omar must asleep. Like every night the more I keep them asleep so that I wake up there the next day. But God not asleep. Even if me not asleep, God not asleep. So I have one more video that I have to finish. That's my obligatory promise thing. I'm trying to make it special. I put out half of it, and that was just like a little rush thing. Not really rush still. I spent some time, but I just rush and put it out unfinished because I wanted to. As a life is precious and anything can happen. So I just wanted people to know, say this is what happened and have an idea. And even then, some people get half the message, and I see them are corporate and put forth perceptions like, some is deliberate and others is just, But anyway, God knows Steve. So look at this. To think that the person could conquer such an abominable oath defies reason. One could not even imagine a more despicable oath. The word heretic in the above refers to anyone who disagrees with the Pope. In a letter from John Adams to President Thomas Jefferson about the Jesuits, we read, "Shall we not have regular..." I thought this was said by Abraham Lincoln, but it's Thomas Jefferson. And these things are not spoken about in schools because them control the schools and the curriculum. So American grew up and them have this regard for the Pope and not know so the Pope caused the civil war between the North and the South, and kill off so much people in the States and all them war and them stuff there. And every president was killed, around 12 of them in the past. Vatican, because them try to control America. Titanic, Vatican, to sink everybody who was opposing the Federal and Reserve. They created the ship and said, okay, can't sink, carry down to the pole. I'm just with Captain sail the Titanic in one rock. Because you see, them don't care about them life, because them say, even corpse or but even after saying him kill himself to kill off all those wealthy people in the States who was blocking the Federal Bank. So that's what the Titanic was built for. And it's also in this book. So Thomas Jefferson said, "Shall we not have regular swarms of them here, in as many disguises as only a king and gypsy can assume, dressed as painters, publishers, writers, schoolmasters, if there were ever a body of men who merited eternal damnation on earth and in hell is the Society of Loyalists. Jesuits are a military organization, not a religious order. Their chief is a general of an army, not a mere father, abbot, or monastery. And the aim of this organization is power in its most despotic, absolute, universal, power to the world by abolition of a single man. Jesuitism is the absolute despotism and at the same time the greatest and most enormous abuse. Jesuits insist of being master or sovereign over the sovereign. Wherever Jesuits are admitted, they will be masters, cost what it may. Their society is by nature dictatorial. Therefore, it is irreconcilable. It is irreconcilable. Enemy of all constituted authority. Every act, every crime, however atrocious, is a meritorious work if committed for the intent of the Society of the Jesuits by the order of the General. So that's that. There was no disguise they could not assume, no place into which they would not penetrate. They could enter unheard in the closet of a monarch or cabinet of a statesman. They could sit unseen in the convocation of a general assembly and mingle unsuspected in the deliberation of debates. There was no tongue they could not speak, no creed they would not profess, and there was no people among whom they might not sojourn, and no church whose membership they may not enter, whose functions they might not discharge. They could execrate the Pope and the Lutheran, swear at the solemn league with the Covenanter. Yeah. Since the Jesuits began a direct assault on America in 1815, nothing stands in the way. Today, America under the control of this desperate Rome. have the assassination of certain presidents like Abraham Lincoln, William McKinley, James Garfield, William Henry Harrison been just been inspired. Waco, Texas, Oklahoma City destruction, Twin Towers, New York City planned behind the walls of the Vatican. What about our precious Constitution and the Bill of Rights? Every president that put in power always attack our rights and create emergencies to take our rights. The Patriotic Act after 9/11 because they hate the freedom that it have. They want the world to be like Germany where they can lock you up for something they say on social media at 4 in the morning because they say something about somebody looking fat or them look like whatever. You know, the more like China where if you say certain things, then carry away at one camp. Or like North Korea, same thing. You know? And you have social credit system. Those things are like a template for what they want to do for the world. And the American Constitution stand in the way of that. That's why they hate the Constitution so much. So this is a book that I recommend everybody read. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here now. Take care, have a wonderful night. I'm gonna edit this down so you know it go already. Hope, educate, and pray for Trump and his Middle East trip, you know. I never like how the reporter was saying if them have anything planned like and then them show the background and I guess wonder if like him know but you know if it was CNN definitely because them broadcast the thing. So this is Secret Terrorist by Bill Hughes. I had this book since 2005 I believe. Yeah, 2005. I like had the physical book and I went to the hospital. I was sick or like them some sick, some mental episode or whatever, and they came in my house and take it. The police them take it as well as my hard drive where I had some crazy videos and things download that I couldn't even show you now because all those things block off of YouTube now. And the great book between that book and this book, if you read these two books, which to be honest I haven't actually read this one yet, but I watched a lot of videos with Ted Donaldson when he was breaking down this book and everything I'm gonna learn, trust me, I'm going to read this one, you know. Between now and the next 3 weeks I read it as I sort out myself and have more free time, then yeah. So that's it. Take care. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Pray for protection for everybody who read this. You know, everybody who watch this. You know, it's like a whole knowledge, a whole lifestyle you have to have when time you know this kind of knowledge. You can't eat a restaurant anymore. You know, you can't go supermarket when time it's empty. You have to go do it peak time. But them can't stack the shelves just for you one. You know, things of that nature. You know, you can't eat from anybody. You can't find any. You can't get started in any girl that you vet them properly because them will send people in their life. Just my life, that's true. Take care. God bless. Peace and love. I don't mean love like how them mean love. I mean literally I got love from God. You know, this is true. So yeah.